On the heels of the Polis announcement, the race for the Democratic nomination in Congressional District 2 is already in full force. Former Secretary of State candidate Joe Neguse announced he will run, joining Ken Toltz, founder of Safe Campus Colorado, and Shannon Watts, founder of Moms Demand Action. David, Boulder is the big part of CD2. It also includes mountain towns. It's not just Boulder, but Boulder is your backyard. From what we know right now, there's only 3 candidates. There might be more. Who has the advantage?
Well, there's only one who's sort of officially said it.
Sure.
Joe Neguse is the one who's said he's definitely running. The others have speculated about it. He's the front runner. I believe he's won in that district before in the Board of Regents race. And he's also run statewide for Secretary of State, and in a Republican year did much better than most Democrats, came within 2 points of winning that. One of the reasons people liked him, and he did so well, was he was honest and ran a very clean and civil campaign, as did his opponent, Wayne Williams, the Republican. So we had in that race an escape from the lies and incivility of a lot of other politics. So because he's run and won in that district, I think he's going to be very formidable. And he's definitely the front runner at this point. He's probably on the weaker on the fundraising side than his 2 potential opponents. Ken Toltz ran for the Tom Tancredo seat in the southern suburbs in 2000, lost by about 10 points. And he certainly has Colorado roots. His family founded a dry cleaning chain. He doesn't really have many established ties with the district yet, but he's certainly got Colorado roots, and presumably with all the dry cleaning money, he can self-finance to at least some degree. And then this third person you mentioned, Shannon Watts, she is from Kentucky and then Indiana, a PR executive who used to work for Monsanto, so she can certainly get all the pro-GMO vote in the Boulder Democratic primary.
All 4 of them, yeah.
And now works for Bloomberg. And obviously with that connection, she has the potential of unlimited billionaire loot behind her campaign. Since Neguse has kind of wrapped up the pro-civility and honesty vote, her record really sets her up well for the folks who are on the other side of that issue.
The pro-civility honest vote. It's nice to know that's still out there. Eric, a Democrat who wins the primary for CD2 can likely have that job as long as he or she would like it. Does that put extra pressure on the party, or I guess some of the godfathers or godmothers of the party kind of behind the scenes to make sure the right candidate wins?
That assumes that there are godfathers or godmothers behind the political parties these days. Ask the Republican Party how that worked in the presidential race.
Good point.
I think there are really 2 headlines here, Dominic. One is the ripple effect that this year is having with all the talent pool going for the governor's race. Well, that is creating openings in the 7th Congressional District, Perlmutter's district. Now there's opening in the 2nd Congressional District. And there will be a whole new generation of Colorado politicians that we're probably talking about 5, 10, 15 years from now who come to the fore this year. The second headline to me is that this new generation emerging will happen in a year, and we're a long way away, a year from the primary, 1.5 years from the general. But my surmise here is that Colorado is a lean blue state, slightly lean blue state, but that 2018 could be a big blue year in a lean blue state. To Justine's pass on the first topic, I don't think Democrats have to worry all that much about losing the governor's race. I think whoever that nominee is going to be in a very strong position to hold the governor's office just because of the tenor of the year. So the Republicans, again, yes, they have all the branches of government in D.C. right now, but in terms of Colorado, in terms of 2018, they may see another generational change go by where their bench doesn't come to the fore, and the Democratic bench with people like Joe Neguse, with people like whether it's Brittany Pedersen or Andy Kerr or Dominic Marino in the 7th Congressional District, those are going to be names we're talking about for quite a period of time in this state.
Justine, we've heard 1 official for Joe Neguse, 2 expected with Toltz and Watts. Do you expect more Dems to come out for the CD2 primary?
Definitely. I was surprised a lot of people jumping into the race for Perlmutter's seat. So I wouldn't be surprised that the same thing happens with CD2. These are seats that people definitely want, and you can have that seat for a long time in Colorado. I mean, you look at people like Diana DeGette in Denver who sat in their congressional seats for a very long time, and it's pretty much a good gig to have if you get that seat in Colorado. So I definitely expect a lot more people to jump in this race. There's been a lot of positive feedback from Joe Neguse getting into the race, and we'll see more people come along, and we'll see what happens with CD2.
Patty, what do you think it takes to win the CD2 nomination for the Democrats as it's currently drawn because it's Boulder and mountain towns?
Well, but still Boulder and the people who support Boulder are going to be the lion's share of the vote. So you want someone who's going to be fairly progressive, have a good backstory, and it is hard to beat Joe Neguse's backstory or the fact how he campaigned in his last campaigns. David's absolutely right that he has been civic-minded, he's been a gentleman, and he's still excited voters. So I think he's going to be a really tough one to beat. I think someone who's just moved to Boulder is not going to be as impressive. That's going to be Shannon Watts' problem. Ken Toltz, that he ran against Tancredo in a completely different district, I don't think is going to excite Boulderites as much. I think Joe Neguse getting in as early as he did might discourage others, but I'm sure we'll see more because if Joe gets it, he's going to lock up he's young. He will lock it up for a long time. So if anyone has ever wanted to run in this district, now's the time.